What is the problem that we're trying to solve? Well, the problem is basically this. Leasehold as a form of tenure is essentially a deal where you're invited to buy a home, and then instead of becoming a full homeowner, you're treated, or can be treated, as a tenant. It is a fundamentally unfair system, a fundamentally inequitable tenure, because those who buy flats, and increasingly in recent years houses, in good faith, paying market rates, assuming, hoping that they would be homeowners in the fullest sense of the word, have found that rather than being homeowners, they are at the whim of the ultimate owner of the freehold, who is, in effect, their landlord.
Been waiting for years, 6 years to be exact, to see the government's flagship bill to end leasehold and to break free the millions of people that are trapped in what the Secretary of State himself describes as a frugal and absurd system of own ownership. And if this is the Secretary of State going in a hurry, Mr Deputy Speaker, I'd hate to see what his normal pace is. It was back in 2017 that the Minister's fifth predecessor as Housing Secretary pledged the action. And he talked a good talk today, and he's theatrical, and I love the passion. It's really there, and I love the squeeze. We want to see the squeeze. And to be fair to the Secretary of State, none of them have ever said it's an assault on leasehold and a squeeze on their income, so he's going a little bit further. But after all that time, after all those promises, and after that theatrical squeeze, we still have a bill that doesn't actually abolish leasehold. I suppose it's no surprise, alongside the bill which pledged to ban Section 21 no-fault evictions, which doesn't ban no-fault evictions, and a bill to stop the small boats, which doesn't stop the small boats. And it's all well and good that the Minister's saying that the government plans to amend the bill in the usual way, but is it too much to ask for the government to include a clause which bans leasehold in a bill whose stated purpose was to ban leasehold? If he wants to let me deal with this problem, I'm happy to take over, and I'm happy to show that I'm not just about theatrical performances at the dispatch box. I'll actually deal with it. He's been given 13 years on the government benches and has failed to do that, and this bill, to me, is still failing to do that. So I'd like to see where he's going to deal with that issue, that the government has scaled down their ambition with the scale-back bill before us today. Leaseholders deserve to know the real reason why they're being fobbed off with such limited steps. Unfortunately, the answer, as ever, lies in the chaos of this government. The Secretary of State has taught a good game, but he might be the only functional cog in a dysfunctional government. There's a compliment in there. I'm trying. I hope that he will face down his Prime Minister and his own backbenchers and accept our proposals to make this bill meet the challenges of this moment. But if he does not, Madam Deputy Speaker, then a Labour government will.